Assalamualaikum, my dear students. I hope you all are doing good by the grace of Almighty. Welcome to the National University online class. I am Shahzad Akhtar Asma, lecturer, Government Tularam College, and I'm going to talk about your course 17th and 18th century non-fictional prose. Before starting your class, I want to say that this is an unprecedented incident in the history of Bangladesh because after 1971, this is the first time all the educational institutions of Bangladesh have been shut down. The reason behind this shutdown is we prioritize our students' safety and life. And I believe that if the Almighty keeps you safe and sound, you will be able to complete your study one day. So don't lose hope and don't be frustrated. Just focus on your study and take preparation for your examination. In order to use your time properly, you can also develop a skill, for instance, a skill in speaking of English and also computer literacy skill. It would be the best way to use this unexpected long general vacation. So, and please don't forget to wear mask when you will go outside and wash your hands thoroughly whenever possible with a sanitizer. And after returning from outside, don't forget to remove your mask and also don't touch any part of your face, especially your eyes, mouth, and lips and nose when you will be outside because at that moment your hands could be contaminated by this virus. However, by the grace of Almighty, we'll be able to overcome this pandemic, this serious health issue one day, and it will make us stronger because crises and problems, challenge, always make a person stronger. So let's start our today's class. As I have said you that I'm going to talk about your syllabus 17th and 18th century non-fictional prose, and the course code is 231105. I'm particularly going to talk about the essays of Francis Bacon. You know, Francis Bacon's essays are really very interesting, compelling. And the reason behind this is he usually deals with the common aspect of our life. And I will talk about this later, but I want to introduce the title of today's lecture. I have told you that I'm going to talk about the essay of Francis Bacon, but I'm particularly going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of both marriage and single life in the essay of marriage and single life. And this is really interesting, you know, and essayist is dealing with this two important aspect of human life, marriage and single life. So in our life, in the life of in our life, sometimes we're single, and after a certain period of time we are married. So we most of us experience this two phase of our life. So I hope that you will find this as interesting. Before starting my class, I want to say that today I have planned my lesson in such a way that it would help you to understand the essay fully, and at the same time you will be able to answer question for the examination. So this lesson is actually to give you some textual knowledge about the essay of Marriage and Single Life by Francis Bacon, and at the same time the aim of this essay is to make you prepared for your examination. So before starting our class, I mean before starting the essay, I would like to talk about a short biography of Francis Bacon because it will help us to understand his essence. So, this multi talented person, Francis Bacon, was born on 22 January 1561. Please focus on the date of his birth because it is important, it will help you to understand his work. He actually belongs to 16th century, and the place of his birth is London, England. So he is an Englishman, and he died on 9 April 1626, and the place of his death was Middlesex, England. So basically, he was a philosopher, statesman, and also jurist, and his works are credited with the developing of the scientific method. So, what does it mean that his works are credited with the developing of the scientific method? This means that his works inspires scientists to research um, in science. Okay, and the era of his works, I mean, the time period of his works is Renaissance philosophy. He usually deals with Renaissance philosophy and particularly 17th century philosophy. So, and here I have also compiled some of the important features of his essays. It will also help you to understand his essay. He usually deals with some common aspects of human life, such as married life, single life, parents, children, study, friendship, colonialism, as in of plantations. You have an essay of plantation included in your syllabus. In this essay, he deals with colonialism, travel, as well as professional achievement, as in of great place. You also have this essay included in your syllabus, and there he deals with the professional achievement of a person and so on. And he also deals with abstract quality of human nature, such as love, revenge, truth, envy, death, as well as envy, and many more. So, and another important features of his essays is that his essays are really, really pragmatic. They give us thought, idea about our practical life, and they are full of figure of space or Latin phrases. Okay, so and here now, from now on, I'm going to talk about particularly his essay of marriage and single life. You can see the title of this slide, theme of the essay of marriage and single life. Before going to talk about the essay in details, I would like to talk about the theme of the essay. What is the theme of this essay? The theme of this essay actually is sense of independence, liberty, responsibility in both marriage and single life. It means that in this essay we are going to talk about the independence or freedom, responsibility of both married and single man. I mean, how far a married man enjoys freedom in his relationship, how far a married man is responsible to his relationship. And at the same time, I'm also going to talk about um, the freedom lifestyle, the liberal lifestyle of single life, and their sense of responsibility to other people, of a single man's sense of responsibility to other people in the society. So as a whole, I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of both marriage and single life. That means the advantages and disadvantages of both marriage and single life. When I will talk about both advantages and disadvantages of marriage and single life, you will find out that both phases of life have both advantages and disadvantages. So, my dear students, next I'm going to talk about advantages of single life. What advantages does a single man have in his life? So the first advantage, which our backbone mentioned in his essay, is that the most striking achievements in the fields of art, literature, science, etc., have come from single men and women. The reason behind this is they are free of cares and worries. So you can understand that a single person does not need to take care of and does not have a wife or children to take care of. So for this reason, he or she has much more free time, energy than a married person. And for this reason, he is free from cares and worries because he does not need to be worried or anxious about the well-being of his wife or about the well-being of his children, or a single woman does not need to take care of a family. Okay, so for this reason they have much time to contribute in their profession, in their to be successful in their field of work. For this reason, much more achievement in the field of art, literature, science, or other fields of profession have been achieved by a single person. So, as in the following line, these following lines are taken from the essay. So here Bacon says that certainly the best works and of greatest merit for the public I have proceeded from the unmarried or childless men. I mean, certainly the best works and of greatest merit for the public have proceeded from the unmarried or childless man. Okay, so I have already explained that why a single person or a person who does not have a child can achieve more in professional life. So if you have to answer any question, any short question in your examination, that why the much more achievements are gained by single man or single person, you will explain it in this way, that they don't have wife or they don't have children to take care of, so they are free from cares and worries, and and they have much more time to give in their professional life. For this reason they achieve much more thing in their life. So the second advantage is that single men can be good friends, good people, and good employees, as they can spend their full time and attention for others. Okay, so it's true. I mean, a single person does not need to spend time, money, energy for his wife, for his children, because he does not have wife and children. For this reason, he can contribute much for his friends, for other people in the society, for his working place. For this reason, he became a good friend, a good people, a good person in the society, a good employee to his employer. And so our backbone has stated this thought in this way, that unmarried men are best friends, best masters, best servants. So you can understand here. I will like to draw a comparison between single man and married man. A married man has to take care of his wife, his children. He has to spend his time, money, energy for his wife and children. For this reason, he can't focus much on his friends or on other people in the society or on his work, in his profession. For this reason, he can't be such a good friend or good person or good employee like a single man. And the third advantage, which is stated by our background, is single man donates their wealth more, as they do not have wife or children to take care of. I mean, a single man, if a single man earns enough money, he has to take care of only his expenditure. He does not need to take care of his wife's expenditure or his children's expenditure, because he does not have a wife children. So for this reason, he must have some excess money in his hands, which he can donate for the welfare of other people. And now I'm going to talk about the disadvantages of single life. What are the disadvantages of single life? Single men often waste time and energy in indolence. Indolence means lazy, not in a proper way. As they do not have commitments, they seldom show remorse or regret for losing opportunity. So single man does not sometimes does not need to achieve much, does not need to earn much money because he does not have a family. For this reason, he wastes his time, energy in inaction, and sometimes he does not regret for losing any opportunity of earning money. So here our background says that some there are who, though they lead a single life, yet they are thought to end with themselves. They are thought to end with themselves and account future times impertinences. Okay, the second advantage is some people thought marriage would be the end of lifelong freedom from cares, worries, obligations. They are self-centered and naive and thinks it's a bondage. So sometimes a single person can be self-centered because as he does not need to take care of any person, he enjoys any wife or children, he enjoys much more freedom than a married man, and this thought leads him to think that marriage is a burden, a liability, and for this reason he becomes self-centered at certain period of his life. And here this is stated by our backbone um, nicely. But the most ordinary cause of a single life is liberty, especially in certain self-pleasing and humorous minds, as I have already explained this thought to you. And the third advantage of a single life is unmarried men are not best subject as they are not committed and free of family and bondage. So they can easily run away from anywhere. What does it mean that they can easily run away from anywhere? It means that a single person does not have a family, so he does not have a route. He does not need to stay in one place. He can easily shift from one place to another place. For this reason, sometimes he is less committed to his duty, and it can make a single person preferred. I mean, he sometimes he is not so committed to his social duty or to his duty to the government of a country. Okay, so but not always best subjects, for they are light to run away. Our background says that a single person sometimes are not best subjects, for they are light to run away. Although a single person enjoys freedom, but it can also leads him to be to be frequent because he does not need to stay in one society in one particular place. He can easily shift from one place to another, so he does not need to fulfill his duties properly. And some other disadvantages are here. Our background now is talking about the professional life of a single man. He is saying that single men cannot always be good judges or magistrate as they are flippant in nature. Flippant means who who are not committed. A person is flippant means he is not committed to his duty. He can easily run away from his duty. So a good judge or a magistrate must need to be, I mean, more committed to his duty, to fulfill his duty, because these two profession are way very serious for the society. Okay, so they need to be cool, calm. They need to be, stable. But as sometimes a single man's tendency is to run away from duty, to run away from his society, um, they can't be always good judged or mastered. In comparison to a single man, a married man is much more responsible than a single man because he has to take care wife, children. Gradually, a sense of responsibility develops in him. So for this reason, a married man becomes much more committed to his duty. And so here it is implied that a married man could be good judge and master that a single man, which a single man could not be. And what is the reason behind this? The reason behind this is a single man is prevalent in his nature. Okay, I mean he can run away from his duty easily. So if you get any question in your examination, any brief question in your examination, that why a single man can't be good judge or magistrate, you can explain it in this way, that a single man sometimes could be prevalent or could be less committed to his duty because sense of responsibility does not always develop in a single man, because a single man is sometimes self-centered, as he does not need to take care of any family. He can easily shift from one place to another place, or he can easily escape from his duty. And for this reason, a single person could not always be good judge or master, because these two profession needs full concentration, is full of responsibility, full of duty. So these two professions need much more commitment from the employee. Okay, so here you will also say that a married person is much more is more a could be a good judge or magistrate that a single man. You can also draw a comparison in this question in this way, that a married man could be a good judge or a magistrate than a single man. Why? Because a married man has to take care of his family, has to take care of his wife, his children. For this reason, a sense of commitment, a sense of responsibility grow in his personality. And as these two professions need more commitment, need more responsible person, so a married person can do good job, can do a good, can give a good output when he becomes a good judge, a good or a magistrate. Okay, and another disadvantage of single life is that unmarried soldiers are more rude and bad mannered compared to married soldier. Here our background draws a comparison between unmarried soldiers and married soldiers. He wants to say that unmarried soldiers are more rude, bad-mannered than married soldier, and he says it from his experience. He himself witnesses an incident in his life, and which leads him to think that unmarried soldiers are more rude and bad-mannered than married soldiers. And he also explains the reason behind this, because unmarried soldiers does not need to take care of wife, children, so he does not need to be tender, soft, loving, affectionate. But many soldiers have family, have wives, have children, so he needs to be tender, loving, caring, affectionate to his family members, and this makes him more soft, more tender, more affectionate compared to a unmarried soldier. This is the reason behind this. Behind this. I mean, thought that unmarried soldiers are more rude and bad mannered. So if you have to answer any question in your examination that why unmarried soldiers are more rude than bad mannered, you will explain in this way, that they don't have wife or children, don't have family, so they don't need to be so loving, caring, and affectionate. These aspects of a personality do not easily grow in an unmarried soldier, but a married soldier has family and children, so he becomes naturally more affectionate, more caring and loving. Next, next, I'm going to talk about advantages of married life. So there must be some advantage of a married life, and also there must be some disadvantages of married life. I'm going to talk about the advantages of married life at first. What are the advantages of married life? Married men try to achieve a good amount of wealth as they have to financially take care of their wives and children, and for this purpose they work hard. Okay, so married men know that they have to take care of their wives and children. They have to spend their money for for to pay the bill of his wives and children. They have to provide food, shelter, cloth, and other necessary things to their wives and children. For this reason, they try to work hard to earn much more money. This is evident even in our society. A bachelor, a person who is not married, I mean, he does not care to spend his money. He easily spend money, he easily waste money, and sometimes waste money. But when a person get married, when he when he starts to take care of his wife or children, he becomes, I mean, more miser. According to our thought that now, after you're married, we sometimes say a friend or a relative that now after your marriage you are miser. Okay, why we say that? Because after his marriage, he has to take care of his wife and children. He has to provide food, shelter, and other necessary things for his wife and for his children. For this reason, he begins to spend his money more carefully than before, and it leads us think that he is now miser than what he was when he was a single person. Okay, so here our background says that he that had wife and children had given hostages to fortune. What does our backbone say? That he that had wife and children had given hostages to fortune. Okay, as I have already explained, that when you have to take care of your wife or your children, you must need more money than before. So for this reason, you will try to work hard. You will try to earn more money. Okay. The next advantage is married men are more committed to their responsibilities as they have roots or families. I mean, as a social being, as a employee, though they can't, though a married person can't always keep much time, can't always spend much money for other people, but he is more committed than a single man to his responsibility, because he knows that he has family, and when he starts to take care of his family members, a sense of responsibility, a sense of commitment grows in him and grows in a married man. And for this reason, he becomes more committed. My dear students, please listen carefully, because if we listen carefully this explanation, you will be able to answer questions in your examination. Okay, the third advantage is they could be good in some serious jobs such as magistrates and judges, as they are accustomed to liabilities. I have already explained. Because a married person needs to take care of his family, his wife, his children, which makes him more reliable, more committed, and which are needed in the job magistracy and judging. Okay, for the fourth advantage is Married men can get wives who become their mistress during young age, company for sad and happy phases of life during middle age, and caretakers when they are old. So here actually this is the striking the most famous lines from this essay. What is the line? The line is, the sentence is, wives are, as stated by Bacon, wives are man's mistresses, companions for middle age, and old man's nurse. Or Bacon says that wives are young man's mistresses, wives are young man's companion to fulfill his physical desire, and during middle age he becomes a company, a wife become company for a middle-aged man, because and a wife tries to spend his her tries to spend or tries to console or tries to give company to his husband, to her husband, during the sad and happy phases of his middle life. Okay, and old man's nurse, when a when a person become old, when a married person becomes old, his wife take cares of him. So by getting married, a married man can get a mistress who becomes a companion during his middle age, and who becomes a nurse during his old man. This is one of the advantages of a married life. Okay, and this is one of the reasons why most people wants to get married. Okay, and here our Bacon also says some of the disadvantages of marriage. So the disadvantages of marriage. Which are the disadvantages of marriage? The first disadvantage is married men cannot always support others with their time, energy, and finance, as they have to fulfill their duties to their wives and children. So they are not that charitable as unmarried men. I mean, you can clearly understand, I have already talked about this, that married man a married man needs to take care of his wife, his children. He needs to arrange food. He needs to arrange a living place. He needs to arrange money in order to pay for the medical fee of his wife or of his children. A married man needs to spend, a married man with child need to spend money for the education of his children. For this reason, he does not have much money, or he does not need have excess money in his hand, and he can't spend, he can't donate much money for the well-being of other people, for the well-being of his relatives, for the well-being of other members of his society, which an unmarried man can easily do, because an unmarried man does not have a family, does not need to spend money for his wife or his children, because he does not have them in his life. So he has excess money in his hand, which he can spend for the welfare of his relatives or his other members of the society. Okay, and at the same time, married man needs to spend his time with his wife, with his children, and he needs to give them company. He needs to accompany them when his wife or his children go to meet a doctor, go when his children go to school. He needs to take care of him. He needs to accompany him to school. So for this reason, he does not for a lot of regions, he does not need have excess time, excess energy in his hand, which an unmarried man has. For this reason, no, he can't spend time, energy, money for other people, which a married man can easily do. And the second disadvantage is they do not enjoy freedom from worries or anxiety that enjoyed by unmarried men. Why? Because a unmarried man, an unmarried man does not have, wife does not have children. For this reason, he has to take care on himself. So he does not need to worry if his children gets sick because he does not have children. He does not need to get worried if his wife um, if his wife becomes angry, or his wife wants or demands anything expensive. He doesn't need to get worried because he does not have wife or children. But if a married man have to worry or have to have to be anxious when his wife or his children get sick, when his something wrong happen to his wife or children, when he finds out that he does not have much more money to fulfill the need or demand of his wives or his children, then a married man becomes worried. And for this reason, he does not enjoy that freedom which a single man can enjoy. Okay. So, and also, they are committed to their families and need to take care of their problems. Every person has some problems, so a wife or children must have some problems which most often need to be taken care of by a married man. And at that moment he become anxious, he become worried. And this is also one of the reasons for which prevent a married man to concentrate much in his professional work, in his question. Maybe a married man is a scientist, maybe a married man an artist, but he can't focus much on this profession if he needs to check the welfare, the well-being of his wife or his children often. If he needs to support both mentally, physically, financially, for his wife or his children, he could not give much time to his profession, to his passion. For this reason, he can't achieve much more achievement in his profession, or in his profession of as an artist, as a scientist, or in other profession like a unmarried man. So these are the advantages and disadvantages as stated by our background. So you have to understand, you have to listen what I have already said very carefully, and you have to understand them. I hope that you would be able to understand them easily, because these are this thought, this idea are very much related to our personal life. We can easily understand them from our experience. You can easily understand them if you observe crucially the life of a single man or a married man. Here, although our background has mentioned men, because during that period, women was not used to work outside, or a woman was not used to take care of his family in that way, which a man has had to take care of. A man in that society during that period of time needed to take care of his family financially, which women did not need to take care of. But now the situation has changed a lot. You know that now both men and women have contributed in family. So here, although our background has mentioned that married man or single man, here now you will read both married man and women and single man and women. As a working woman, I can clearly understand that this thought which Bacon has stated in his writings is clearly related to my life. I can't always focus on my profession so much as one of my single female colleague can do, because I have to take care of my household chores. I have to take care of my children. Okay, but a single female colleague of mine as does not have children or does not have a separate household to take care of him, she might live with her parents, but I have to stay separate from my parents to look after my husband or to look after my child. For this reason, I need to give extra time or energy in my home, which I would like to give in my profession, but I can't do. So this is very much related. These thoughts, as expressed by Bacon, are very much related to our personal life. So my dear students, I hope that you have understand uh, what our Bacon tries to say in this essay, and I hope that you will be able to understand all this thought, and you will be able to answer question in your examination related to this essay. Okay, again, thank you for attending class. Allah Hafiz, please take care.